Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'd like to address some of the most frequently asked questions about the Pi network. This is a great video for beginners who are just getting started with the network. Depending on how deep you go into the Pi network, it can become quite complicated. One of the first questions people have about the network is whether it is safe. And, after conducting extensive research on this project, I can confidently state that it is completely risk-free. Instead, it is based on the vision of creating cryptocurrency that will be used for online transactions. That could include online shopping. It could imply creating blockchain apps that run on the Pi network or Pi coins. It also means that users like us can use and benefit from the coin. Check out some of my other videos if you want to learn more about this. But I just gave you a quick rundown of what the coin is and what it could be. In fact, if you do some research on the project, you will discover that it is completely safe. These three individuals, who have a long history on the internet, founded the network. Aside from that, the network has a clear data protection policy for anyone who is concerned about losing their data. What I know for certain about the project is that it was incorporated in the Cayman Islands, and was even valued at around $20 million as early as 2020. Remember that this was when the network only had about 3 million active users, and that number has since grown to over 35 million. We know that the project's developers or original creators are real, authentic people, and their backgrounds have been validated and verified. They were all students at Stanford University. Some of them even published computer science research papers and founded their own businesses. And they all have the knowledge and experience to create an excellent cryptocurrency. Another thing I can say is that no one has ever lost data or anything as a result of this platform. Instead, it appears to be a cryptocurrency gamble, with the goal of creating a cryptocurrency that can be used for online transactions. And, to be honest, there's no reason to be suspicious of this project because you won't lose any money. Mining Pi doesn't take much time, and we haven't heard of a single case of people's data being stolen or anything bad happening on the network. If you want to join, make sure to enter an invitation code. If you still don't like the app after trying it, all you have to do is delete it from your phone. That's all there is to it. And there's no point in complicating things further. I guarantee it. This company has no Ethereum motive, and there is no secret government trying to control you with Pi or anything like that. I promise I'm not going to talk about that. And that is not what this video will be about. The next common question about the Pi network is how much Pi coin will potentially be worth. Mining Pi coins can be a slow process, especially if you're just starting out and don't have many referrals. And it's understandable that people are curious about how much a Pi might be worth. Now, I did make a video about this in the past, and all I did was calculate or estimate the supply of Pi so far. I was able to calculate a supply of 77 billion Pis using this Excel document. All that remained was for me to calculate or simulate demand. And I wanted to keep things as simple as possible. I discovered that the Pi is divided by the supply of popular cryptocurrencies such as Stellar XRP and Bitcoin. I was then able to use the same ratio and simply plot it onto a Pi. And after these calculations, I arrived at a price of $1. This means that for the average person with 771 Pi, your portfolio will be valued at around $1,220. This is fantastic news for anyone mining Pi, because mining Pi only takes about 10 seconds per day, and any extra time is really your own personal choice and decision to get engaged or involved with the network. And if we use this calculation to predict how much you would have with different amounts or a different portfolio of Pis, we can see that if you had 1,000 Pis, you would have roughly $1,582. You could potentially have $15,821 if you had 10,000 Pi coins. If you have 100,000 Pi coins, you could have a total of $158,000. Now, very few people will be able to have these kinds of numbers, but one thing to remember is that everyone on this network will benefit in some way. And all you really need to do to earn more Pi is spread the word about this project to your friends and family. And this is because the more popular this project becomes, the more unstoppable it becomes. Referral marketing is another term for what is happening here. And it's one of the reasons why Robinhood and I have such a large fan base in the online appearance game. Everyone in this system benefits from the use of Pi. Nobody ever loses money when they use Pi. However, how much you are rewarded is determined by how much effort you are willing to put into the network. And this brings us to the next question: when will the Pi network be officially released? So, if you're new to the Pi network, you should know that this project has 3 phases. Phase 1 was really about the developers figuring out who the project's kings were. And we're currently in phase 2 of the project. This is when the developers put their newly built infrastructure to the test. Recently, we discovered that the network or the developers here have released test Pi wallets for us to use. This enabled us to simulate transactions that will become real in the future. This begs the question of when maintenance will be officially released. This is the point at which the cryptocurrency will be completely decentralized and Pi will have a monetary value. There are various answers as to when this will actually happen, but according to the official Reddit page of the Pi network, the project is expected to reach phase 3 in 2023. It doesn't get any more specific than this, but I believe it gives the authors and developers here a lot of leeway in terms of how much they can potentially do, and whether or not the project will be delayed in the future. And I believe this is a reasonable estimate for the entire project. This also means that in the future, we'll be able to mine a lot more Pi coins, and we'll have a lot more by the time the project is officially released. The next question that people have is how we can mine Pi coins from our phones. And, in order to fully comprehend what is going on, we must consider cryptocurrencies such as Stellar. Stellar is based on the Stellar Consensus Protocol, and it operates differently than Bitcoin. The supply of XLM coins in Stellar is pre-mined. This means that all of the coins that will ever be available are already available, and they are simply being released over time. And this is a concept that is similar to what is happening on the Pi network. On the Pi network, when you sign up, all of the coins you'll ever receive are already pre-mined for you. And these coins are released into your wallet each time you sign into the app to mine more coins. This means that the amount of Pi coin you actually need is determined by how active you are on the network. Even though these coins are tailored to you, you won't be able to obtain them all unless you're active on the network, which means you press a button every day. The network does this to ensure that people continue to interact with the network itself. It also has the advantage of ensuring that mining Pi is as simple as using your cell phone or laptop. This allows the Pi network to consume significantly less energy, and you don't need to do anything or have any fancy equipment. And it essentially allows anyone to get their hands on the Pi network as well as their hands on Pi. So long as the answer is yes, you're not bothered by anything. Instead, you earn coins from the network by participating in it. The next question that people have is, what am I going to do with this Pi once they are officially released? And answering this question is a lot of fun. There are so many things that the developers here want to do with the Pi network that it's difficult to include them all in a single video. But, in essence, they want to create a marketplace similar to Amazon, where people can sell products and services and another person can pay for them using Pi. And, if you think about it, this is essentially its own localized economy. And, aside from that, you can pretty much do anything with it. This project's creators also considered other ways to use Pi. Another way to use Pi is to have businesses market their products on the Pi network in exchange for payment in Pi. This means that these businesses will have to purchase Pi from us, effectively raising the price of Pi in the future. Because of how flexible and many use cases a cryptocurrency like Pi can potentially have, I think this is a really interesting way to use it. Another way to use Pi that I find really interesting and will discuss in another video is to use it as a platform for developers. This means that these developers will be able to build apps on top of the Pi network's blockchain. And with that, they can create Pi-based applications. This includes games. They include applications such as Facebook, YouTube, and others. And I believe that many of these developers will become millionaires as a result of this process, because if they create any kind of decent application, they will make a lot of money. This is entirely dependent on how popular the Pi network becomes in the future. But, based on what I've seen so far, it appears that this network has a very strong community that will support it when it is officially released. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I really want to go over some of the most common questions about how the Pi network works. Check out some of the free offers below at no cost to you, and I'll see you all again soon.